Welcome to the 5% Club podcast, the space where ambitious leaders go to master their careers and their lives. I'm ShaylaMKing, a former C-suite executive turned performance and happiness coach. And this is the podcast for leaders who want it all. The promotions, the paychecks, and luxurious amounts of time for what matters most. Each week, I'll teach you how to work less, make more, and design a life you love. Let's go. Hey friends, Shayla here, jumping in to let you know that the Performance and Happiness Lab is opening for our fall cohort. So mark your calendars now. It opens on September 25th. It's the last one of the year, and I'm absolutely positive that it can change your career and your life. As you know, my one-on-one coaching is a 5-figure investment and it's currently full, but the Performance and Happiness Lab is available for $5,000. It's one of the best investments you can make in your career and your happiness, and you get an amazing community to support you. Imagine being surrounded by other like-minded leaders that are successful and want more, that are trying to figure out the demands of these high-pressured careers while balancing a family, and that all want to pour into you, that want to open doors for you and give advice on, yep, I've been there and here's how I handled it. The cohort and the actual group that you get within the Performance and Happiness Lab is unmatched. It's absolutely the best community to be in for corporate leaders. So I want to see you in there. Mark your calendars. Again, September 25th is when it opens, and it's gonna fill up fast. So make sure you're on my wait list at ShaylaMKing.com, ShaylaKing.com. You'll be the first to know and the first in line. I know some of you are already ready. You can go ahead and send me a note and say I'm in. For all of my quick decision makers, a lot of my leaders that I work with are quick decision makers. But if you have questions, I want to answer them all. So you can DM me on LinkedIn. You can send me a reply on any of my emails, and let's get those questions answered now so that when September 25th it comes around, you know for sure if it's a yes or no for you. Now we're starting in the fall, and this class will change what 2026 looks like in your career and your happiness. So let's get you in there now and reach out with any questions that you have. Let's go. Hi friends, welcome back to the 5% Club. I'm ShaylaMKing, your favorite executive coach for people who want more money, less stress, and to love their whole damn life. Today's episode is called FYouMoney, F-You Relationships, and F-You Skillset. It's how the 5% bulletproof their careers. Let's be honest, for most of us, it's not if you'll ever get laid off, it's when. Jobs are unstable, leadership changes, companies file bankruptcy, entire departments vanish overnight. And when you're in the 5%, you don't panic, you don't spiral, and you don't settle. You've built the career insurance that every leader needs. The money to walk away, the relationship that opens doors, and the skills that make you undeniable. Today, I'll teach you how to build all three so you can lose the worry, lead with confidence, and effortlessly land what's next if and when that day ever comes. Let's go. First off, FYouMoney. I want you to build the financial freedom to never stay where you're not respected. Tori Dunlap, the author of Financial Feminist, said it best. If you have money, you're no longer forced into playing small. Money gives you the ability to walk away from jobs, relationships, and conversations where your value isn't seen. It's your permission slip to speak honestly, set boundaries, and say no without fear. And I've lived this. I shared recently in my Why podcast about a family member who stayed with a cheating spouse for years because she couldn't afford to leave. And the day that I heard that, I vowed that that would never be me. That I would never be in a situation where I'm unsafe or feel disrespected that I couldn't leave. It's one of the driving forces of my life that made me want to acquire money. Not to have a stack of it, but to have options, to have freedom, to have choice. And that's what I call FYouMoney. It gives you a chance to say what you need to say at work. It gives you a chance to not walk on eggshells and worry that if you say the thing, you'll get passed up for promotion or you could get laid off. Now, we're still going to be respectful. We're still going to be emotionally intelligent, still strategic, but we're not walking on eggshells. No more of those worries about not getting promoted if you get pushed back, or what if I get let go if I speak up? Because you know what? If you do, you'll be fine. And you can say, I'll be fine. I've got the money. I've got the skills. I've got the network. And what comes next, it won't be a downgrade. It'll be epic, just like the life you want. All right. The second step in this is first, you want to get that FU money. And this means that we are saving, we are investing, we are living under our means. And I want you to have a lot of fun. So I am not the coach that's going to tell you, stop going to events and stop getting your nails done. All I want you to do is spend in the categories that make you the most happy, and don't spend in categories that don't matter to you much. And make sure you have a plan to build up that reserve so you can have the FU money. And so you're going to, first of all, know how much that is for you. Secondly, you're going to make a clear plan to get there. And then you're going to feel so in control. If you've ever paid your car off before, some of you have even paid your house off before, you know how that just makes your soul feel good? They joke, I was at a conference for a marriage conference, and the guy said that women have an extra organ in us down here, and it's our organ that needs to feel safe and secure. And once the husband showed the wife where the drawer was of all of their important paperwork and life insurance policies and knowing where their accounts were, that then she felt secure, because it's just knowing that it's there. You don't want to have to tap into it, but damn, does it give you freedom to know you have enough in savings or investments that you actually would be fine. And some of you already have it and you just haven't admitted to yourself that you have it. So I want you, as your evolve work for this section, just to get really clear on what is that number for you. What would be, let's start with 6 months of living expenses that you would need to bring in to not feel stressed about getting laid off, to know you're going to be fine. So what is that number for you? Where are you at compared to it? That's what your homework is for today when it relates to FU money. All right, let's jump into FU relationships. I want you to build a network so strong that they come to you. Let me say this clearly. It doesn't matter how good you are if they don't know who you are. Okay? So you should be the highest, you could be the highest performer in the company and still get passed over because the decision makers don't know you. They don't see you. They don't trust your leadership. Performance is not the whole game. I teach my clients to master PI. It's performance, image, and exposure. Performance, of course, is what you do. Image is how people perceive you, and exposure is who actually sees it. You have to have the right people know, like, and trust you before the next opportunity opens up. One of my clients had tried to get promoted for years, internal and external to his company. As soon as we worked on exposure of the right people who are the decision makers, knowing him, knowing his capability, knowing what he wanted, he got the dream role in 3 months. His work didn't change, his visibility did. And in today's market, that's everything. You guys have seen this layoff after layoff on LinkedIn, right? And then jobs posted on LinkedIn get 300 plus applicants in the first 48 hours. If your plan is apply and hope, you're already behind. FU relationships mean you know people already, both inside of your company and external to your company. You're top of mind before the job is public. You're referred internally by trusted people. You're invited into rooms other candidates never hear about. So many of the roles are decided before they're even put out there. And once they're put out there, just so you guys know how this works from a behind the scenes of an HR perspective, Normally, let's say that I'm a recruiter and I get 300 applicants to my job in this week. And I have to give the hiring manager 10 solid candidates. And so I now have to go through that list of 300 in some non-discriminatory fashion until I get him 10 good candidates. What that typically means is FIFO, first in, first out. So I look at the first person that applied 1 minute after the job was posted, and I say, are they a fit? Nope, put them in the no pile. I look at the second person, yep, put them in the yes pile. I look at the third person, yep. Soon as I get to 10, guess what I do? I move on to my next role that I'm trying to fill, because I have done what I was supposed to do, which is provide 10 good candidates to that manager. Which means if you applied 12 hours later, there's a good chance your resume was never even seen. Even if you're better than those 10, I never even looked at your resume to find that out. That's realistically how it works at a lot of companies, right? So the way that you get in is because the hiring manager, because another leader at the company, because somebody refers you and says, I have a candidate for you. I think Sam would be great for this role. And then that person's name gets added to the 10 people that is going to the hiring manager. And now they get to consider you. Or the hiring manager, better yet, themselves knew you and says, I have someone I think is a perfect fit, but I'm open to interviewing other people. So let's go through the process and see if they end up being the best person, right? So you have to be known. You have to have these relationships ahead of time. F-You relationships is how you're going to bulletproof your career. And it's how you switch industries. It's how you get promoted. It's how you stay in motion even when things change. So if you're still relying on being noticed, liked, and promoted out of nowhere, it's time to change your strategy. We're not hoping anymore. We're building. And that means you have the relationships before you need them. If you got laid off that day, you could call and say, yeah, I am in the job market now. What do you got for me? And they're like, perfect. I'm so glad I got to hear from you. Yeah. We actually have 2 different positions open right now, and I think you'd be great for them. That's the kind of relationship you want to have, and that lets you breathe. No problem at all. I've got 10 people in my Rolodex I can easily call. If you're under 40, a Rolodex is an old people term for contacts. All right. Finally, F-You Skillset. I want you to be so good that they can't ignore you. And I want you to stop waiting to be picked. So just being direct, if your strategy is, I'll wait for my company to train me, you're already behind. If you're waiting for leadership development, waiting for that Salesforce training, or waiting for that conference next March, and that's when you'll learn the thing, meet the people, do the thing, that's not a strategy. That's dependent on your company. And instead of a growth mindset, you're really reactively waiting for them to decide your fate. They're taking ownership of your development, and you've got to get in the driver's seat, okay? So 5%ers don't wait. They take ownership of their development. They intentionally build the skills for the role that they're in and the role that they want. And so here's your evolve work. I want you to think about if you stacked your resume against the top 5% in your field. What are your undeniable strengths and what are your gaps? Literally against the best people in the role. What do they have that you don't? That's what you have to ask yourself. Now, maybe you're really good in 3 out of the 5 areas of your role, but you've got to get better at 4 and 5. What are those things? And get specific. So if you're in sales, have you learned digital marketing? Do you know your customers' pain points? Is your network strong enough to cold call a senior exec at every target account? If you're in marketing, can you use AI better than your peers? Can you measure ROI without fluff? If you're in healthcare, do you stay ahead of market trends and innovation? In operations, do you know every lever to cut cost and increase efficiency? In HR, do you understand how AI, org design, and workforce strategy are evolving in 2030? This is what makes you undeniable. Have a more robust knowledge and skill set than the top 5% in your field. It's a really simple worksheet that I have. You can email me and I'll send it over to you. But it's called Grow, and it's going to take you through what is your goal, what's required for that role, what is your opportunities, and then what is your way forward. So you're simply asking, what are the skill sets for the role that I'm in? And what are my gaps? How will I close them? Then you'll do another one that says, what are the skill sets for the role that I want? What am I missing? How will I master them? Because when layoffs come, when orgs restructure, when a new opportunity opens, you're not hoping to be ready, you are. And you're going to stand out against all the other candidates. So when you think about that, you're going to be in a different position when they look at the piece of paper and say, here's what this candidate has, here's what this one has. Of course, this person is qualified. Of course, they check all the boxes that we're looking for. You just are undeniably prepared for the role you want. Don't leave the questions, but I don't know if they ever have had experience with this. I don't know if they've ever been exposed with this. Do they understand this system? Have they done this process? Just check the boxes proactively by creating your own development plan. Now, this isn't another 4-year degree. This isn't another master's program. This is job-specific work and experiences and exposure. And so when you create that way forward on how you're going to close the gap, sometimes that means you're going to shadow other people at your company that do really good at this. Or you're going to pick up the phone and meet people on LinkedIn and ask them about the skill set. You're going to invest in one-off trainings that are specific to what you need. If you need a PMO training, you're not going to wait for your company to consider putting you in it 3 years from now. You're going to go take it. You're going to take the free LinkedIn classes. You're going to take free Harvard classes. There is ways to do this for free and with paid classes that are very specific, that take out all the fluff of a 2-year degree, right? And teach you exactly what you need to know. Coaching has changed so much, and these specialized learning opportunities have changed so much in the last 5 years. You can now go out and learn from an expert exactly what you need without going through the fluff and the waste of it being really long. But you've got to go after it. You got to figure out what those things are, and you have to find the exact class, the exact program, the exact thing that will work. Some of them are going to be fantastic and some of them are going to suck, right? But take the initiative, go figure it out so that you have an undeniable skill set, right? So just imagine if you feel like you don't have any of these 3 right now. You don't have FYouMoney, you don't have FYou relationships, you don't have FYou Skillset. Just gaining one will be a life changer. If you feel like you've got 1 or 2 of them, but not all 3, imagine the power and the safety that you'll feel when you have FYouMoney, FYou relationships, and FYou Skillset. So if you want help with getting any of those 3, that's exactly what we do inside the Performance and Happiness Lab every week. We drive deeper into those categories and create a real action plan for you to solve for it. So you can go to ShaylaMKing.com/PHLab so that you can see when our next cohort is opening. You'll be in a group with your peers and you will learn everything you need to get promoted to the executive level and be happy in your life. It's a 3-month program where we go through results, relationships, rituals, and mindset. And you can learn more on the website. And if you want help getting this bulletproof career so that you never have to worry when you see the news about your company or another, you never have to worry about that layoff anymore and have that peace of mind for the rest of your freaking life, it's life-changing. It provides you that peace in your heart and soul to know you're always going to be okay. And when we can't control life, these are the things we can control. We can control our money and how much we have saved and invested. We can control the relationships we have intentionally created. If you're keeping your head down and only working on your work at work and not even networking with other people at your organization, much less the public, you're not taking care of yourself. And finally, that skill set. We're not waiting around. We're not learning the bare minimum or waiting for a company to pay for it. We're saying, what do we need to bulletproof our career and be undeniable, and creating that. So this week, your Evolve work, you're going to go through FYouMoney. You're going to figure out how much money you actually need. FYou relationships, just come up with one relationship that you want to deepen. And then FU Skillset, go through that grow model and figure out what skill sets you need for your current role and your next role. Identify those gaps and create your way forward. This is real, y'all. This is life-changing stuff. So do the evolve work. Let me know how it goes. You can DM me back, and I will see you next week. Your coach, cheerleader, and accountability partner, Shayla. If you are ready to finally get that promotion, figure out work-life balance, or master your performance and your happiness, it's your time. The Performance and Happiness Lab is opening. Mark your calendars, September 25th. It's 3 months long. You learn the results, relationships, rituals, and mindset that you need to be a high-performing and happy executive. Now, it opens on the 25th and it is going to sell out fast. So I want to give you a few opportunities to be able to reach out to me ahead of time for any information that you need. I know that some of you are very quick decision makers. You know what you want. You know what will help get you there fast. So you're already in. Fabulous. Send me a note. Let me know. We'll hold a spot for you if you do it before the 25th. Okay? But if you have more questions, no problem at all. I'd love to answer them for you. You can DM me on LinkedIn or reply to any of my emails. But for sure, what you want to do is make sure that you are on the wait list so that you get all the information and details about what's coming out. And we're going to host a webinar so that you can learn the promotion playbook on exactly what you need to get promoted to the executive level while loving your whole damn life. All right, September 25th, mark your dates. The investment is $5,000. It will change your career and your life, and you will be surrounded by other winners. People that are in the exact same situation as you, that are successful and they want more. These people offer advice and guidance and open doors for you, and you get to support them as well as a member of this group. It is time to level up. You want to be in the room. It's the best room there is if you are a corporate leader. It's how you level up quickly. Let's go. I want to see you in there. Ask me any questions that you have. Don't hold back. DM me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. Can't wait to see you in the room. Let's go. Thanks for joining me in the 5% Club today. If you're ready to work less, make more, and design a life you love, go to ShaylaMKing.com to join the 5% Club waitlist. Each Monday, I'll send you something you can implement immediately, and you'll be the first to know when applications open for the Performance and Happiness Lab, my group training program designed to accelerate you into a happy, confident executive who loves their whole life. See you there.